Hey there! I have a surprise for me and probably a little one for you. Um, mail call today. I have something from Forbidden Psalm shipped by Space Penguin Inc. If you want to see some really unique games, check out Space Penguin Inc. as well as Exalted Funeral, please. They do some fantastic things. Um, I don't know if they're I think they're both in the States. So my apologies to you, but I've got to adjust my camera. I apologize. Hang on. Okay, now you can see more of it. I thought I was set up. So Forbidden Will Ramen has had a couple Kickstarters on the Kickstarter recently, and this is not his most recent one, but one of them. Run from the Dark, Forbidden Dark. Now this is a Forbidden Psalm type game, but he has changed some of the mechanics of it and given you a few more character options. And I am just hitting the tripod left and right. I apologize if you're getting seasick. So, Forbidden Dark is a miniatures agnostic game about folk horror, the things that go bump in the dark, and existential dread, based on the Run from the Dark role play game. So, this is simply, I don't know what that little emblem is, but this is simply stunning. It's a gorgeous little book. And I remember flipping through the PDF, and PDFs right now are not doing it for me. So that's a cell phone, encapsulated in overgrown undergrowth of some kind. The paper feels a little bit thicker than some of his other ones, and I think it's a little bit skinnier. 112 pages. Different beasts that you would encounter. His AI for monster stuff. More beasts. These look like more mundane stuff. What a beautiful book. I have not read it. I have not done anything other than, well, that's not true. I read the PDF when it first came, but I have yet to figure out a way to do the flip throughs of the PDF on screen. Different names. So you do the classes. There's Hedge Witch, Hunter, Light Carriers, Makers. Four. Ooh, more. Reunited. Scholar, Shifters, Storytellers. Backgrounds. You can be a human. Tilwith, the Changeling. Dinian no Satan. Those touched by the blessings of a spider, born deep in the woods in communities that use strange glittering webs to hold back the dark. Each one has a tell of their arachnid origins. Some have tells such as extra limbs or eyes. Amar Leedini, Griged Anman, Gwilyn, different lights. Okay. Each model selects a single light source. You can only select a light source once, so you must select 5 different light sources, so each character would carry something different. But look at the selection here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you could use a D12 to do it randomly. What about classes? You do that randomly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, cool. Backgrounds. 10. Okay. A walker must be within light, or they will take 1d4 points of darkness within at the end of each round. For a walker to be considered in light, they must either have their own light source or be within range of another model with a light source. Most light sources provide light within 6 inches, and another outside of this is considered in the dark. Creatures in the dark cannot be targeted by ranged attacks. Creatures of the dark hate light, and if they roll a critical on a model with a light source, instead of dealing max damage, they destroy the light source held. That makes sense. Okay. If a walker rolls a 1 in combat, they can choose to drop their weapon or drop their light source, breaking the light source. Ooh. Light sources are restored at the end of each scenario, regardless of how they may have been lost. This does not cost the walker any frags. I'm thinking the frags must be a form of money. So your stat lines: traditional, 3, okay, 2, 2, 1, -2, -1, -2. Agility is movement still. I'm saying still. I'm assuming some of you know something about Forbidden Psalm. So, or some of his other equipments, other games. When walkers are in town, each walker has equipped slots equal to 5 plus strength. They start with the equipment given by their class. So you, instead of taking the default equipment, you can buy 500 frags, which is the unit of money from the list worth of equipment. It does not say and, it says or. Okay. Gives the different weapons. So I think if you're using Dark Age miniatures or some sort of fantasy Dark Age or your Forbidden Psalm type, you would be fine. Oh, there are pistols in this. Okay. Hand cannon. Okay. But you couldn't start with one of those because of the amount of money needed. There's relics, which is that. Rituals. These are the equivalent of spells. Oh, rituals and spells. And there's 6 of each. States and properties. How to play. Weather. Blessings of light. At the start of each scenario, each band of walkers gains the following blessings they can use at any time. These reset at the start of each scenario. So these are like the omens in Forbidden Psalm, I'm thinking. Deal maximum damage, reroll any dice, remove a down model, Cancel one critical or fumble, automatically pass one test, reroll on the offering table, remove 1d4 darkness within from a model of your choice. So you could do that each scenario. So you would, that makes the game a little bit more. So if you're versus one playing a two-player game, each player would get this list, which is sort of cool. Weather at the start of each scenario, roll to determine the weather that for that scenario. Invisible sickness. Players place in the center of the table an area of invisible sickness. This area is a 6-inch circle. Any model that ends or starts a turn must make a toughness test, or on a failure they are diseased. Blizzard. Dead man's fingers. Place next to each treasure marker a token to mark a dead man's fingers plant. Oh, this plant will grab on anyone that comes within 1 inch of the treasure marker. Injuries. Darkness within. So the walkers in this, guys, are not walking dead. They are the people out there hunting new treasure. You can have random weapons, items, ammo, armor, relic, magic items. Goes into the basis of what the relics of the Lost Age are. So thematically, so far, it seems like each one of these things has a new skin, for lack of a better term, to make it appropriate for this setting. And I've seen that sort of continuously in all of his games. Monsters, how you spawn, bear, wolf, raven, nighthawks, skull bears, false dawn spiders, dead tree maggots, corpse beetles. Blade Dorwig, okay, blind wolves, brittle sticks, so sort of like the twig blights from D&D. Corianid, that is a lovely looking creature. Corpse lights. Sirenate by Hereneth. The Edenade. Sort of reminds me of something from, that movie that came out Pan's Labyrinth, where the guy has his eyes on his hands, or these be floating off in the Dinean Gwaig. Hollow Man. Silent as the grave, the hollow men stalk their prey. The first sight of the hollow men is often its bloody red hand wrapping itself around the thick bark of a tree. Dinean Gwaig seem either in league with or unaffected by the dark. The white glowing pot of their eyes is sunken in the hollow face. Standing well over 12 feet tall, they can easily render men to pieces if they ever catch one's scent. So ogres or small giants, hill giant type thing. Okay. Rumor has it that a town to the north was lost when hollow men working together besieged it. A troublesome tale, for it has not been known of them to work together previously in such a way. Ooh. Vengeful Dead, Emir Idalge, the Red Moon. Look at these guys. They're sort of like little imps, but with red. Plant Ilgade Du. Sirens of the Dark. Well, we know what a siren is. Cool. Mir Fingidic, Fungal Dead. Okay. Area Soul. Okay, I just skimmed this real quick. Special. Now this is one of the abilities of Irisol the Devouring. If they down a creature, the maggot inside crawls out of its host as its next action burrows into the down model. This kills the devouring, and the down model by a new devouring is placed where the down model had been. Joy. God, what a way to go. Heralds of the Dark. These are those who felt mankind should have given into the... There are those who felt mankind should have given into the dark a long time ago. Nihilists, madmen, and those scorned by society whisper in the spaces the heralds are a blight on any town that harbors a sect of them. Even a single herald can result in a disaster for a town. Random table. He used to do base diameters, and I wish he would go back to that. I can understand why some people don't feel the need, but sort of a standard was sort of cool. Modes of play: solo play, co-op play with multiple bands, one band, versus play, 2-player, more players. Play as the Dark. An alternate mode is to play as asymmetrical, where the player takes on the role of monsters and heralds of the Dark. To do so, you must make a warband of heralds using normal rules for the warband creation. Plays the game with the following changes. Crafted Herald, Dark Remorse. Scenarios, random scenario generator. Determine goal and reward, spawning monsters. If the game is too easy, how to modify it, or if it's too hard, how to modify it. Campaign. So these are the steps you take for the campaign. The map of the world. Very, very inspiring. Scenario 1, your walkers find themselves in the town of Bon-y-Greg. Bon-y-Greg, a town made by walkers and for walkers, is where many spend the summer months. This year, the hedge witch who predicts the Dark's coming fell short in their efforts. The Dark's harbinger, the red moons, have fallen on the town without warning. Under the light of a crimson-stained moon, you must fight off the red moons and allow the townsfolk to make it inside to safety. And so it looks like there's at least 15 scenarios, and then there's optional one. So this is something I like in most of his books that I've looked at. I haven't seen some of the newer ones or some of the ones published for other people. He has a setup map suggestion. It's generic enough where you could make it work for... Oh, wow. The layout of his books has gotten to be incredible. Punk-ish without being... Well, with being punk. But without being... I'm not sure what. There you have it, basically. And quick reference. Thank you. Thank you very much Forbidden Psalm, Will Wellman, and Space Penguin Inc. to get this out to me. Forbidden Dark. Thank you. Excited to get this to the table some point.